It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Let's go Jeff, Phil, right over here, and then Ed. Go.
Greg, Jeff Gluck from NASCAR Scene. With everything that happened with the yellow line controversy last week, and now NASCAR's come out and clarified that you can never pass below the yellow line. Doesn't matter if you can see the checkered flag or whatever.
Okay.
Should there be a different standard for the last lap when it comes to that rule, or as everybody's coming to the stripe, or should that remain the same? And what was your general thoughts on what happened with that?
Well, I don't want to get NASCAR mad at me, and I don't want to get Tony mad at me, but my feeling is they tell us in the drivers' meeting, first of all, NASCAR makes rules for a reason, and that's so that to keep us in line, to keep us from acting crazy. And you have to block. As the guy leading the race, you got to block in order to win a race. Okay, so where do you cross the line at Hoots telling us if you force a guy below the yellow line, first of all, if you pass below the yellow line, you will be penalized. Then he says, if you force a guy below the yellow line, you may be penalized. Not you will, you may be penalized. So that's where I need clarification, is when may we be penalized for forcing a guy below the yellow line, and under what circumstance? Now, I would feel differently about it if Regan would have only had maybe a car width or a little bit more, car and a few feet, and darted down there and tried to take that position, and Tony would have just moved down a little bit and blocked it. Regan was up the racetrack, and Tony was up the racetrack a long ways. They were 3-4 car widths off that yellow line, and so Regan dropped to the inside of Tony and was inside of him, clearly. Had his fender inside of him, well, 2-3 car lengths off of the yellow line. And, Tony moved him down to block, all the way down there, and Regan just went down onto the flat to avoid the accident. So, it's one of those things, the last lap, does anything go? When will we be penalized for forcing a guy below the yellow line? I think that's the biggest thing that needs to be answered. And if we're not going to be penalized, then we need to understand that. The other thing is that we don't want to send a message to Regan Smith next time that he tries to force you below the yellow line coming for the stripe in the beginning of the tri-oval. You're supposed to spin him out and send him through the grass and have him come back out in front of 15 cars and wreck the whole field. We don't want to send that message at the same time. So I don't know what the right way to do it and the wrong way to do it. If we're not allowed to pass below the yellow, that's fine. We've done it twice. Two other guys have done it and won. Junior and what's his name in the trucks. So yeah, Benson. So we've done it twice and it's been okay, and then this time it's not. He was forced below the yellow. So there's lots of things that NASCAR ultimately makes the decision. We just need to know what it is ahead of time so that we can make the right decision behind the wheel. And I think Regan felt like he made the right decision to avoid the accident and go ahead and go down on the apron. And obviously that's not the decision he should have made.
Phil.
Yes, Greg Hill Overton, WIXC Radio. You've been riding a hot streak up on the crest of the waves here lately. How good is it when you're in this position? Isn't it much easier to achieve these wins, great finishes, than it is when you got to come from down in the pack like things were earlier for you this year?
Yeah, absolutely. Man, we have really come on strong in the last 8 races probably. We had a great run at Bristol, a great run in California. Had a spectacular run for us at Richmond, even though we finished 14th. I got the car up in the fence and wrecked it, and the guys were able to fix it, and we come back and finish 14th there. That was a great championship effort. And then to start the chase out like we did has been spectacular. And then the confidence here for Saturday night. You know, I feel like we have one of the cars to beat on Saturday night. That's big time, you know, confidence and a lot of momentum for these races. So feel good about the race cars that we've been able to put together.
Got two more right here, and then Ed, and then we've got Matt coming in. Go ahead.
Greg, Brad Gilley, PRN. Can you talk about racing here at Lowe's Motor Speedway and the hometown of the race teams and all that? I mean, would a win here almost be like winning the homecoming football game, whatever it may be, for all the folks working at the shop?
Yes, it definitely would be. And, you know, win would feel good after last week as well. You know, we were off to a great start and had a little hiccup there. So a win here definitely would be, you know, a big boost for the whole organization. You know, certainly, because they're feeling a little pain right now with how battered we got this weekend. So yeah, I think this certainly would be a big deal for us going to Martinsville.
Final question. Go ahead.
Ed Hinton, ESPN.com. Greg, just to follow up just a little bit. You mentioned Carl may have been kind of over-enthusiastic, over-exuberant, whatever, and last Friday at Talladega, I believe you were somewhat critical of his move at Kansas City. Is over-exuberance, in your mind, a problem or becoming a problem with Carl? And also, even though you're not mad at him, did he not do anything to help what last year appeared to be not the greatest relationships with you and Matt anyway?
Well, you know, when you got a guy that's trying hard like Carl, and to follow up from last week, you know, I did think that, you know, it was a spectacular move for us to all look back and look at, and it took a lot of guts to make that, to try that. I was simply stating the fact that I probably, you know, at the third race would have, you know, been as daredevil as he was, but you know, he felt confident in pulling it off, and he did, and it worked. And this week, you know, I guess when I say that he was a little over anxious or whatever, I'm kind of I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm kind of making, I guess, excuses for him because I don't know exactly, you know, what was going through his mind when he's holding on to the steering wheel and the gas and the brake and saw my car in front of him and tried to push right there, not being lined up. You know, I mean, that's from what I've seen so far. I haven't seen detailed footage, but that's what it appeared to me, is that he was down a little lower on the track. So I don't know exactly, you know, the mindset right there. I wasn't driving that car, so I just think that, you know, you feel inside there, you feel that urgency. You pushed a guy all the way down the straightaway and into the corner, and you bumped him, and you're almost in the lead, and it's like they're kind of coming back. It's like, we got to go, you know. It's 10 to go. It's 13 laps to go. We got to go now, you know. And so he probably crept up there and just tried to give a little push. So, well, I think that that Matt probably took it a little bit harder than I did, because Matt was a innocent bystander in that thing and got caught up in it. So, and he's had a rough start to the chase. Matt has. So, but I think all of us, we're all, you know, hard drivers, and we understand that we're going to have problems in these close quarters. Look at Dover. I mean, we were all racing our butt off, you know, and you know, Carl told me there after the race or the next week, he said, I barely missed your bumper cover. Did you see me? I said, no. He goes, when you were racing with Matt, I got down in the corner, I got loose. I had to go up the racetrack, and I missed your bumper by about 6 inches. So, I mean, that's close quarters. You know, he could have spun me out at Dover, if he'd have been up further on me, or maybe I didn't enter the corner as hard. So, you know, when you're close quarters like that, things are happening all the time that you guys don't see, and we don't see a lot of times. But things will happen in that race, and you're like, "Phew, that was a close one," and that's just part of it.
Greg, thanks a lot. Good luck this
Thanks.
weekend. We appreciate it.